a sovereign work of God on that soul first. And it is either God's will that brings a man to faith, or it is man's free will that brings him to faith. You answer that question. Which one is it? It's either God or it's you. It's not about cooperation, because there's no cooperation between darkness and light. So either it is the light that reveals things to you, or you are somehow able to determine on your own will where to go look for light. It's an absurd notion when you think about it on its face. Consider this for a second. In Job chapter 14, verse 4, it says the following: who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Who can bring a clean thing out of the unclean? And then he says, there is not one. Not one. The scriptures makes it clear that there are only two types of people: those who had been made clean and those who remain unclean. And here's the fact of the matter: you are always one or the other. It is not the unclean that is able to bring out the clean, but a person must be cleansed first before they can be clean. But someone who's unclean, there is no desire whatsoever to become cleansed. No desire at all. And so, like one person says, it is more fun in the mud. A crude way of putting it, but the truth nonetheless. Someone who loves being in the mud like a pig will love to wallow in the mire. And no matter what opportunity you provide to the pig, or what products you provide to that pig to smell better, to look better, to act better, it won't and it cannot, because its nature is to be a pig, wallowing in the mire, wallowing in the mud. That is a fact. Now, Jeremiah 13, verse 23. Jeremiah says, can the Ethiopian change the color of his skin? No. Can the leopard change his spots? No. So then, Jeremiah goes on to say, then also you can do good who are accustomed to do evil. So what he's saying is this: like the Ethiopian that can't change the color of his skin, like the leopard who cannot change his spots, or the zebra that can't change his stripes, neither can men who are accustomed to doing evil by nature, neither can they do good. Coming to faith in Jesus Christ is a good act. It is a righteous act. It is fruit, but it is fruit that comes from God having converted that soul already. It is impossible for someone who is unclean, or it is impossible for someone who is of a certain stripe or ilk to change what they are essentially by nature. Now, I do realize that there are people today in our modern times who believe that they can change their nature, who believe that they can change their gender, who believe that they can change the way they look. In some of these aspects, they can do. You can get plastic surgery and change the look of your nose, or change how your eyes look, or change your eyebrows, or change your lips, or change your rear end size. But the reason why these people make all of these changes is because they think that for somehow, some kind of way, it's going to improve them. It will not.